2 years ago, I started my own social media marketing agency after I bought Iman Gadzhi's Agency Navigator course. For the next 17 months after starting that business, I struggled and was barely able to make even a couple $1,000s from my business after offering free trials and lowering my prices down to the literal bare minimum. But in the fall of 2023, I realized that I could create success for myself simply by studying and performing the same actions of those that achieved success before me. It was basically like following a blueprint of those that already became successful. By November of 2023, I installed a funnel that changed everything for me. 2 weeks later, I hit my first ever $6,500 month, and the rest is history. 6 months after this, I ended up hitting $106,000 in a single month, and now I occasionally do $30,000 weeks. I've even made $15,000 in a single day before. I've since used this money to do all the cool online stuff that you see people talk about, right? I've started taking care of my mom. I buy her nice things. I've took the trips to Dubai, first class flights right here with my mom right next to me on the left. And I've drove the luxury cars as well. So in today's video, we're going to go over exactly how I started doing all of that. So today's agenda includes a step-by-step guide of the $46.2 million solution, which is Alex Hormozi's full $46.2 million business model, systems, playbook, and structure. We're also going to go over how to design 8-figure solutions for your clients, how I utilize this infrastructure to build my own 7-figure company, how I eliminated churn so my clients don't leave, solving client acquisition forever by allowing yourself to achieve unlimited attention, step-by-step guide, and designing and pricing your front-end acquisition to achieve unlimited profits. Now, when I say step-by-step guide, I do mean a step-by-step guide. Now, this is Alex Hormozi's playbook, and then we have a step-by-step guide of everything else. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. The $46.2 million solution. So Alex Hormozi broke his business down into something he called the money models. Now, the first thing in his playbook of the money models was actually understanding gym levels. So he broke them down into 3 levels of a gym. The first one, level 1, is if they have less than 150 members and they're doing less than $20,000 per month. He defined their main problem as client acquisition. The second level was less than 250 members doing anywhere from $20,000 per month to $50,000. Their main problem was acquisition as well as churn. And the third level was having less than 400 members, but doing anywhere from $50,000 per month or more. He defined their main problem as churn, scaling, and acquiring talent. So what this allowed him to do was identify the life cycle of each business that he works with in order to correctly provide them the solution necessary at that moment in time. For example, if a business came to him and they were already doing $120,000 per month, he wouldn't waste his time with client acquisition, installing new acquisition systems, as they likely have already solved that problem and have it dialed in. The next step in his money models was actually solving client acquisition. So the key points here is he would install something called client finance acquisition. Now, this is where you charge a high ticket upfront fee, which covers the cost of acquisition for 2 clients. Now, why is this so amazing? So your business can be defined as LTV divided by CAC. This is the pure definition of your business. If anyone's going to invest in your business, they're going to look at this number and pretty much off the bat know exactly if you have a good business or not. Now, here's how Alex did this. Let's say you have a CAC, a cost to acquire a client, for one client is $500. As an upfront fee, Alex will charge $1,250. So this more than covers the cost to acquire 2 clients and even a bit of the third client. The benefits of this, the rest of the client relationship is pure profit, pure LTV. Since the cost to acquire was already covered, the business is now extremely profitable for the remainder of the time the client receives services. The next reason, you never have to worry about a marketing budget again. So since the CAC is more than covered, you will always have a marketing budget. But what does this mean? So this now means that you can infinitely acquire clients. So the business who can spend the most will ultimately win. They will ultimately acquire more clients, meaning they take up greater and greater percentage of TAM, which is the total addressable market. This means if you view your market as a pie, the business that can spend the most is taking up the greater percentage of that pie. So next, he had something called the lead gen scrambler, and this is just pretty much their done for you ad creation, landing page structure, and installing actual ad playbooks into the business. Next, we had solving the problem of churn. So the key takeaways here is they created a client journey so that a client always knows the next step in the process and never has to feel lost or confused about what's going on. So here's an example of why this is very good. Let's say you're at day 28 with a client and they're starting to feel iffy about the process. They're not feeling confident. You have a client journey which clearly roadmaps and maps out every single phase they need to go through. This means if they're on day 28 and they're feeling unsure about the process, you can look at them and say, hey, we have this full process mapped out. You're really close to day 33. There's no point for you to leave now because by day 33, this key milestone happens and it's going to boost you a lot. It's going to give you a great performance, right? So the next step is deliver results and quick wins as fast as possible. And the next key point was track client performance, attendance, and communicate with them as often as possible. He had something called the 5 horsemen of retention, which was 1, track the attendance, 2, text them twice a week, 3, deliver handwritten cards, 4, host events, and 5, have exit interviews. Now, the next step in his playbook of money models was scaling. So he defined the only 3 ways to scale was to 1, get more clients, 2, charge more money per clients, or 3, make them buy again, which is increase the LTV. Next, he had something called the wedding cake gym profit model. Now, this was methods of acquiring upfront cash and installing reoccurring cash flow into the business. So as you can see, he used the wedding cake model. The icing was defined as front end cash. This included supplements, internal plays, hybrid, semi-private, and large group hosting events. And the back end was defined as reoccurring cash. As you can see here, he had things like $80 per month for reoccurring supplement supplies. Then he had the semi-private golden ticket upsell. First thing he would do is identify, then invite them. Third, then sell them and simply repeat. Also had a playbook on how to sell supplements and the hybrid program bolt on. Now, the next step was acquiring talent acquisition. So what he would do is install the same funnel that you use to acquire clients, but now you're using that to acquire team members. So as you can see, he had application generation, nurture those applicants, 3, interview them, 4, onboard them, and 5, retain them. If we can see as it's the same thing as client acquisition, generate the leads, nurture the leads, have a sales call, onboard them, and make them become a client, etc. Right? Next key important thing in this was ensure employees know who and how to communicate. So you had communication cycles. All employees must know whom they report to, what medium they're using. If you're using Discord, WhatsApp, Slack, whatever, right? It's personal for every specific business. Lastly, he had something called macro business models. Now, this was the 5 mandatory things for success. And the only things you need to be able to do in success to win, as Alex defined it, was generate leads, nurture leads, sell them, fulfill, and retain them. Next, he had the 5 levers to profit. Now, these were the key levers to move and increase profits and business success. Next, he had something called the pie equation. Now, the pie equation determines the max amount your business can be worth by combining the total amount of clients that you're acquiring and divide that by the number of clients that leave. Will equal the max amount of monthly revenue that you can achieve. Now, with all this information, let's talk about how to design an 8-figure solution for your clients. You design a high-value solution by understanding the gap between where your client currently is and where they want to go. There will typically be multiple problems standing in the way of their desired situation. You then build the mechanisms to solve each of those problems and present it to your client as the full solution. As you can see, a perfect example here is something we call the gap. Their initial situation is here. Their desired situation is here. We can see multiple problems standing in the way. How Alex did this with gym launch, level 1 gym, level 3 plus gym, okay? And we just went over the problems he solved using his playbook. The first one was understanding levels of the gym, installing client acquisition, fixing churn, understanding how to scale, acquiring talent, and understanding macro business models. Note, you must always combine multiple methods of delivering, such as done with you, done for you, and do it yourself in order to build an efficient and repeatable solution. This is exactly what Hormozi did, and the reason is likely because only providing one method has obvious constraints. Example, if you're only using done for you, it will provide difficult constraints when it comes to scaling, as you have to do all the work for every single client. You can see the only element that was done for you in Alex Hormozi's solution was the actual client acquisition, where they would actually install the ad campaigns and landing pages for these clients. However, combining all 3 allows you to get the best of all the worlds. For example, done for you ensures nothing gets messed up as you do the work. Done with you allows your client to build and gain skills as you hold their hand, and do it yourself gives the client the full frameworks to be successful with or without you. This led me to understand that Alex, as well as other successful people, use something called leverage consulting and how they create their offers. So leverage consulting is about solving the full gap for your client and then combining coaching and agency elements into your offer. This makes it easier for prospects to say yes, allows you to charge higher ticket and get better results. Now, what do I mean by combining coaching and agency elements? Well, in the simplest form, coaching is just the exchange of information for money. Now, this information can be delivered in many different mechanisms, such as protocols, SOPs, content, courses, or frameworks as well. Now, in the simplest form, the agency model is just the exchange of services for money. This is where you're actually implementing things for your clients, such as systems and infrastructure, as you can see with the paid ads that Hormozi would implement. So a few examples of this, of how delivering systems and infrastructure, is growth campaigns, paid ads, appointment setters, and content distribution. Now, what the leverage consultant offer does, besides giving you a unique mechanism for your target market, is it completely decommoditizes your offer and presents your business as the full solution, right? Not the plane ticket, not the plane ride, but actual the destination trip, Malibu, Hawaii, right? Which basically tells prospects and potential clients that your business is the destination, the solution from where your prospect is and where they want to go. This signals that you are different than the market and interrupts the pattern that they have in their head. So when we're talking about our competitors, they're only solving 1, 2, 3 problems max, and they're calling it a business, right? We can take all their market share and we can perform better than them by simply solving the full gap and allowing our clients to feel a dream scenario, right? And this provides many benefits. Since we're solving the full gap and it's the full destination, it's the trip, right? It's the end goal. We can now charge higher ticket, 5, 10, 15K upfront. Alex used to charge 16K upfront for this, right? I charge my clients anywhere from 5 to 10K. So this signals that you are different than the market, ultimately getting them away from thinking, who is this guy and what is he trying to sell me, to now actually looking at your value proposition. Now, how did I go about doing this? I created something called the leverage consultant funnel. Now, why does this work? Because it solves the full gap. It gives you a leveraged offer and solves cold acquisition systems and infrastructure, organic acquisition, paid acquisition, lead magnets, content assets, and conversion methods to actually convert this attention that you're getting on the front end. So let's talk about how to actually generate unlimited attention for your business, right? So note, you only need about one acquisition channel to actually hit 10K per month, but you ultimately want to use all 3 ways of getting attention. Now, here is why. If someone clicks on your ad, then consumes your content, the sale is much easier. Or if someone opens your email, and then after a few sequences, they finally decide to book a call and get on a call with you. But before getting on that call, they search you up and find your content. The sale is now much easier. You seem legit, right? If you didn't have these things, the likelihood of a sale is much, much lower. However, to get to 10K per month, you only need one. If you want to build a 7, 8 figure company, you're going to need multiple. So let's jump into cold outreach. So when installing cold acquisition methods, just note that you can send 50 emails per day per domain that you purchase. Now, keep this in mind when deciding how many domains you want to purchase. The first thing you want to do is go to GoDaddy.com. Number 2, buy at least 35 cold email domains. Make sure they're all separate domains. Now, what this means is they should be similar to your main site. My main site is acquisitionlogics.com. However, not your main site. So you want to buy ones that say try acquisitionlogics.com, get acquisitionlogics.com, buy acquisitionlogics.com, right? Number 5, buy one email address for each domain. For example, Tucson@getacquisitionlogics.com. Then add the following DNS records to each domain: SPF, DMARC, and DKIM. If you can just search up YouTube videos on how to do this, someone's gladly going to hold your hand and show you exactly how to do that. Then upload each cold email to instantly.ai and begin the warm-up process. Then build a list of your target niche, your target market in apollo.io. Export that list using exportapollo.io. Verify every lead that you just exported using millionverifier.com. Upload all the leads to instantly.ai after they're done warming up. Then write a cold email script with your main goal being to send them a loom, not book a call. Then start sending your mass amount of emails per day. And depending on your volume, you should aim for at least 3 leads per day. Then get them on a call, and your closing rate for cold outbound should be around 20%. So this means for every 5 calls that you get, you want to be aiming to close 1. So understand your numbers and decide exactly how many clients you want to get per month. If you're getting 3 leads per day, which leads to a client every 2 or 3 days, then send more cold emails, get more leads per day. And if 6 leads equals 1 client, get 6 leads a day, get 1 client a day. So this is just how to scale cold email. From there, we're going to start organic acquisition methods. Now, this is what Hormozi's used to build a 9-figure business, strictly organic. So note, content gives you exponential boost to your entire business beyond all other acquisition methods. Content is arguably the most important part of your funnel. This is the only strategy that not only gets you attention, but also converts it and even gets your existing clients more bought in than before. And so number one, understand your content pillars. For example, if you're providing lead gen to businesses, then your content pillars would be social ads, how to create offers, appointment setting, case studies, and how to save time by outsourcing instead of doing it all yourself, right? Number two, for each of these pillars, you want to go into ChatGPT and tell it to give you 70 FAQs for each of them. Narrow these down to about 30 of the best ones that it provides you, then put them all in a spreadsheet with a checkbox next to them. This is how you will know which ones you have completed already. Sign up for hypefury.com, post 3 to 5 tweets per day answering different FAQs, cross-post them to Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to save time. 7, at the end of the week, figure out which ones performed the best and turn the top ones into short-form videos. Then take the best of these short-form videos, expand on them in a long-form video, and create a lucid chart like this one to help with your visuals. People like to see things visually, right? Then repurpose the YT vids, the YouTube videos, into newsletters. You should honestly be posting on YouTube at least 3 times per week. Nobody's perfect, so when you're starting out, once a week at least is fine. So keep in mind, your first time will be bad. You can go on my channel and watch my first ever video. It's likely not that good. Then we're going to install paid acquisition methods. Now, this is my absolute favorite. It's my favorite because you can simply spend $1 to get 10 back, and I just love the straightforward return. Just note your ROAS, return on ad spend, will also depend on your sales skills, so just keep this in mind. Now, when we're doing direct response marketing, we want to test 4 variations of messaging angles on the ad creative. The 4 angles we want to test is 1, our offer, how many appointments we can guarantee somebody, how many sales we can guarantee somebody, and then our method of fulfillment. Then put qualifying questions on the instant form to ensure we don't have any bot leads or unqualified leads coming in. Here's a few examples of the ones you want to put on your instant forms. From there, they will opt in. We immediately want to send them an auto response message. However, also give them the option to book directly into your calendar right away. Then send email and SMS resources for free, nurture and educate them with content assets to book a warm appointment. Then have them enter your pre-call flow, which allows you to close 30 to 40% of calls. Yes, it's at least double of cold acquisition. This is why it's so good. Understand your numbers and scale, same thing. So now, how do I eliminate churn? So just like Alex Hormozi had a 90-day client journey, which outlines each step from day 1 to day 90. Now I have a 120-day client journey for the agency owners, B2B business owners that I work with. This outlines everything they need to do day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way to day 120 in a step-by-step instructed guide form. This helps tremendously, right? I don't have any clients coming to me saying, I'm lost, I don't know what to do. No, just look at the board. This is exactly what you need to be doing. And the cool thing about this is each task only takes them 1 hour per day, and they don't even have to work on weekends, okay? So now, how do you design and price your front-end acquisition to achieve unlimited profits? Well, let's understand that all business is simply arbitrage. Now, what is arbitrage? Arbitrage is when you buy something at one market, then go to a completely different market with hopes to sell it for more money than you originally bought it for. For example, if we buy a stock for $10 at the New York Stock Exchange, then we go to the London Stock Exchange and our goal is to sell it for $10.50 or $11, right? This is how we make a quick buck. And when you do this at scale, you're making a lot of money, right? Let's say if you bought 1 million stocks at $10 and then sell it for 11 at a different exchange. You just made a quick $1 million just by understanding arbitrage. So business is arbitrage because we are buying customers. We then sell them on our products or service and make more money than we spent to acquire them. If we do it right. A lot of people do this wrong and they literally find ways to deplete money instead of make money. So this arbitrage in our business can be defined as LTV divided by CAC. So LTV stands for lifetime value. This is the average amount of money you're going to make from a typical client over the duration that they stick with your business. CAC stands for cost to acquire. Now, this is the cost, including ad spend, salaries, etc., that it costs you to actually get a client. So in order to acquire clients profitably on the front end and design a front end system that is quote unquote client financed, you must understand your numbers and how much it costs you to acquire a client, and then charge 2x or 3x that amount as an upfront fee. This will allow you to acquire clients very profitably while the rest of the client relationship remains just strictly profit, just strictly cash flow due to your retainer fees, rev share fees, and back end cash flow. Now, if you're wondering, how do I create an offer that allows me to charge 2 to 3x more? Well, we already went over that in the beginning of the video. So that's all we got for this video. If you want a full 58-page breakdown and a lucid chart of how I personally scaled to 106K per month, check the first link in the description. Bye.